How does it make you feel, Tom, when you hear your name being mentioned as the best ever?
I don't think I like it very much, truthfully. I don't think it's almost more uncomfortable for me because I never see myself like that. And I've always been underdog.
How do you view yourself? Because you remember before, back in 2003, you told me while we're sitting down having lunch, I'm a sixth-round pick, draft choice.
Yeah.
That's your approach.
I still feel that way. I mean, I was a backup quarterback on an 0-8 freshman high school team. I didn't even play. We didn't win a game, and I couldn't even get on the field. I was kind of a late bloomer, recruited to Michigan late, started as a seventh quarterback. Had to work really hard to even play. Thought, oh man, I'll make being pro football. Got drafted in the sixth round. No one thought I'd make the team.
So that drives you.
Yeah, it still does. I mean, I think now it's like, wait a minute, now you guys want me to stop playing? No, this is when I'm having fun. Now is the time where I get to do, really enjoy it. I always had a lot of belief in myself, and I always tell a lot of young quarterbacks, you don't believe in yourself, why do you think those guys who are looking at you are going to believe in you? When you step in that huddle, they better look at you and go, man, that guy's ready to get the job done. Because if they don't see that, then they're going to start questioning, oh my God, I don't think that guy can get the job done. So you got to believe in what who you are, what you do, what you bring to the team. And then if you do that, they're going to feed off that as well.
Do you ever sit back and just really appreciate kind of what you've accomplished in your life? I mean, do you ever sit back and just say, you know what, I did okay for myself?
No, I don't. Unfortunately.
Do you take that as a weakness, being a weakness?
I feel like I'm still, if it's a marathon and there's 26 miles in the marathon, I don't think at mile, 21.
What mile are you at right now?
I think 21, 22. I think if I'm in mile 21, you're not going, man, that was a great 21 miles I ran, You're still thinking like, I still got 4 or 5 miles to go, and I got to make those my best miles. And if I don't, I'm letting myself down. Why shouldn't I? I've got, I know what to do. I know my players. I know the offense. I feel good. Why shouldn't these be great games? So I think it's probably more frustrating. I think managing frustration is probably harder for me now than it was when I was younger. Because when you're younger, you maybe accept at a lower standard. I think as you get older, you realize you've seen the best. I played with Hall of Famers. I played against Hall of Famers. You see the best, and that's what you aspire to be every day. So how do you deal with frustrations when it's less than that? When you score, I said earlier this year, we scored a few games where we scored 38 points. We should have scored 50. I was frustrated. Before, if we scored 13 points and we won, I was happy. Right. Because you guys would give up 7 points or no points, So I think that's a little bit of a difference. And I think just managing my overall, positive outlook, which I try to have, but there's a lot of daily frustrations.
You talk about those frustrations. Have you had to kind of adjust your leadership style in order to relate to this younger locker room and a younger generation?
I feel like I do that naturally. I feel like I have a great camaraderie with the guys I play with. The guys I used to play with, I still do, because I genuinely care about the guys that I play with. I mean, I care about the guys that I played with, the guys that are in the locker room. I'm trying to help them, reach their potential in their career. If I can help them in any way, that's a great benefit to me. I had you to look up to. I had Willie to look up to. I had Teddy to look up to. I had Drew Bledsoe to look up to. Lawyer Malloy, all the great players that I saw. And I was lucky to play with those guys. Now they're looking at me in the same way. So what can I do to help them? What advice can I give them? How can I sit down with them and help them be a better player? And I think
now the one thing that I see, you don't hesitate to yell and scream. I mean, whether you're yelling and screaming kind of out in the wind, or whether you're yelling and screaming at one of your guys. I mean, do the young guys take to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think by the way, you yelled a lot too. So
I did.
I think that there's a purpose to that too, And
but it's a different time too, Tom. Back when I was yelling at guys, we were older. We had a lot of veteran players.
Yeah.
And the young generations, they're a lot different now. They're a little bit more sensitive.
I think yelling to yell isn't the point. I think it's yelling to create urgency and to change states of mind is what's important. They know me typically as very poised, someone that's very composed in the meetings, who's, wants to communicate, in a very mature way, in the locker room, in the meeting room. And when I get on the field, if I'm, communicating differently, I'm trying to say, listen, we're not getting it done. Like we need more urgency, we need more focus, more attention. You know, you got to play harder. We need more effort. You know, and then hopefully you can just. That's part of being a leader on the field is, you know, getting everyone to rise to the occasion. So.